Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Is it Friday? No, yeah, it's Friday, right? Yeah. Happy Friday. I have no idea what day of the week it is. I'm so out of, yeah, right here on my phone, Friday, August 6th. There we go. There we go. There we go. So I thought about this today, and my wife had brought up a conversation. I'm not going to share that, but, in the results of things that go on through your life, a lot of times we get offended by things that people do or say, or the things that we think that someone is saying. One of the things that I know about me is I absolutely cannot get offended. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. You can call it my superpower. I'm rubber, you are glue, bounce off me and poo on you. Right? I cannot get offended. There's nothing you can do, say, talk about, do whatever. I don't get offended. I'm unoffendable. And when you can get to that point in your life where, irregardless of what you think someone else is doing or saying or talking about or think they're doing to you, you're never going to get offended by anything that anyone does. Right now in politics, the whole racist thing is going around and everybody's triggered by everything, offended by everything, right? Ooh, you say, you can choose this. And one of the biggest challenges, one of the strongest powers that someone has over you is when you let them offend you. When you take offense to them, you give them power, right? So if you don't want to give someone power over you, one of the ways to do that is to not be offended. So I've got seven ways to overcome being offended. I'm going to read this to you, and hopefully this will make an impact on somebody's life, maybe change the way you deal with people, maybe change the way that you handle situations that you're in. If you're over on LinkedIn, feel free to comment. If you're on YouTube, feel free to share your thoughts. And of course, if you're here on Facebook, feel free to comment as well and chime right in. Maybe when's the last time you were offended? When was the last time you let someone control you, right? Control you because you let them offend you. So here's some tips. Every day we have plenty of opportunities to get angry, stressed out, or offended, but what are you doing when you indulge in these negative emotions is giving someone outside yourself power over your happiness. You can choose not to let them do that, right? That's a choice. Have you ever had someone say something to you that cut you to the quick, something that wounded you so deeply, even though you knew they were wrong in their assessment? You let them have control over you, right? So this person for whom you didn't do anything anyway, jumping into this, let's jump into these. So first, number one is remain calm. It's like the t-shirt that says remain calm. Have you ever heard the expression, if someone offends you, don't get mad, get even? That's the world's solution to offense, right? Because we see that's how the world is handling problems. If someone offends us, then we've got to go blast them on Twitter or whatever. But how about this? If someone offends you, don't get mad, don't get even, just get ahead. If you've been offended, the best way to get ahead is not a retaliatory strike against that person, but rather calmness in the midst of the offense. Now I'm going to say this again. If you choose not to be offended, then what I just read is completely irrelevant, because there is nothing for you to do. You won't get mad. You won't have to get even. You won't even have to get ahead. You just go do you, right? I am rubber. You are glue. Bounce off me and poo on you, right? That should be your, and it sounds crazy, but it really is you've got to choose not to be offended, right? You've seriously got to choose. James 1:19 in the Amplified Bible says, understand this, my beloved brethren, let every man be quick to hear, a ready listener, slow to speak, right? And slow to take offense and to get angry, right? Just don't get offended, right? When most people become angry, they lose control. If you lose control, that means someone else has control over you, right? Have you ever thought about who gains control when you lose it? The enemy does. That's why he wants you to be angry, filled with thoughts of reprisal against the one who has offended you. Don't let them offend you. You won't have to go down this road. Ecclesiastes 10:4 in the Living Bible says, if the anger of the ruler rises against you, do not leave your place, for calmness will lay great offenses to rest. Absolutely awesome. Number 2, this is my all-time favoritist. This is my most favorific. Yeah, I said favorific. Love them anyway, right? Love people where they're at. Understand that the reason that they may be coming at you is because they've got a lot of garbage in their background and a lot of hurt and pain. Hurt people try to hurt people, right? So you've got to consider the source, and you've got to love them where they're at, right? Love them in this. It's like the agape love that Christ has. Love them irregardless of the crap that's coming out of their face, right? If you look, let's see, where's it go? Proverbs 10:12 in the Living Bible says, hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. I've been the recipient of love found in 1 Peter 4:8. The Amplified Bible says, so many occasions, the verse says, above all things, have intense and unfailing love for one another, for love covers multitudes of sins, forgiveness, and disregards the offenses of the others, right? If you love people unconditionally, you cannot be offended, right? If someone comes with some racist crap at you, here you go again. I am rubber, you are glue, bounces off of me and poo on you. You can choose not to be offended, right? Choose not to be offended. Love them and realize a lot of times they don't know better. They're coming from a place of pain and hurt. Doesn't mean you have to tolerate it. You can walk away from it, right? Turn the other cheek and head down the road. Walk away from it, right? Number 3, perception determines reality. In your mind, you may have done nothing to offend the other person. However, their perception becomes their reality. Acts 28:8 in the Living Bible says, Paul argued in his defense, neither against the law of the Jews, nor against the temple, nor against Caesar have I committed any offense. So maybe someone else feels that you offended them, right? In that situation is, I have to love myself, right? I have to understand the position that I'm coming from. If someone else chooses to be offended by something I say, then that's their deal. It's not me, right? I can, and here's the challenge in apologizing for offending someone, right? Here's the challenge in that. It's saying, yes, I offended you, right? You're giving them even more power to agree with them, to let them say that they were offended. You know, it's saying, it would be like if somebody came up and said, you just hit me in the eye. I'm like, no, I didn't. And you hit them in the eye anyway, right? So if someone says that you offended them, the best way, and this sounds nuts, is not to apologize. I didn't offend them. They chose to be offended. I did not offend them. I'm not going to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm going to say, no, I didn't. I didn't mean any offense, right? I'm not even going to apologize. No, I didn't mean any offense, because that's their choice to be offended. I'm not offending them, right? If they choose to hear something that's coming out of my face and they choose to be offended by them, that's their choice, right? There will be times in your life when you're blamed or perhaps even condemned for something you didn't do. You can choose to get offended or get over it, right? Let's go down to number 4 here. Overlooking offense makes you a winner. Are you a smart person? I'm not asking if you're a member of the Mensa Society. Rather, if you're a smart person, you know the difference between right and wrong and good and evil. Proverbs 19:11 in the Message Bible says, smart people know how to hold their tongue. Their grandeur is to forgive and forget, right? Forgive and forget. Sometimes I'll come guns a-blazing at you sometimes. And a lot of times I don't do it because I'm offended. I'm doing it because I'm a jerk. I'm doing it because I want to stir up some hate and discontent. And that's when I'm coming guns a-blazing, because it's one of my negative superpowers, if you want to put it that way. I just like to stir up crap. And it's not a good deal. I shouldn't say sometimes. I haven't done it in a long, long time. But one of the things that I used to do when I was younger was I would say stuff to people just to get them offended. I thought it was funny, right? And anyway, bad on me, right? Proverbs 19 says, good sense makes one slow to anger and in his glory to overlook an offense. Jeremiah 31:34 in the contemporary English version says, I will forgive their sins and forget the evil things that they have done. 1 Kings 8:50 says in the New Living Testament, forgive people who have sinned against you. Forgive all their offenses they have committed against you. Make their captors merciful to them. So it's about forgiveness. If you can forgive someone, right, that comes to you and says, hey, you've offended me, I forgive you. You offended me. I didn't mean to offend you. I forgive you. That will blow their brains up, right? That will really mess with them. Number 5, you don't know what they think they know, right? Have you ever had someone give you the cold shoulder, completely ignore you calls or emails, yet you had no idea at all? I've actually had a relationship like that with somebody very close to me. Person refused to talk to you. You're left playing the game of 20 questions without the benefit of a response or seeming any kind of interest or concern. Genesis 31:36 says, then Jacob became angry and berated Laban. Jacob said to Laban, what is my offense? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me? Laban didn't want Jacob and his wives to leave because he had benefited greatly as a result of Jacob, and he knew it. So again, he was upset because he was leaving, and he chose to get offended by that, right? Number 6, you may know the cause of your offense. Jealousy. Whew. This is I think out of the one of some of the strongest reasons people get offended is because of jealousy. They see someone else in a better position, aka white privilege. They're jealous because they feel that person's getting treated better than them. They're jealous because that person seems to have got favor over them. They're jealous, so they get offended, right? Jealousy. Matthew 13:57 says, and they took offense at him, but Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his hometown and in his own household, right? So a lot of times people that are very familiar with you, that are close to you, will become jealous of you because they feel that you're moving out of their circle. You might be leaving them. They might have a fear like, oh my God, if they get promoted, they're going to leave and go to another job. Or if they're getting married and leaving the household, maybe it's a sibling thing. They can get offended by you leaving and take offense to that, right? And you've got to love them anyway. You've got to love them unconditionally. And of course, number 7, offense hurts you more than it does anyone else. So when you decide that you want to be offended by someone else, or what somebody did, is you're giving them power, and it actually hurts you more because you're getting angry, you're losing focus, you're looking bad, you're putting out a bad person, especially if you're doing it like in an office environment or work environment, and you decide that you're going to have a temper tantrum in front of everybody because someone offended you, because maybe you didn't get the raise or you didn't get the promotion, or somebody said something that you didn't like, right? It's like me. If you don't act right around me, I'm going to get offended, right? So you can choose how you respond to people. You can choose to give those other people power, or you can choose not to. Right, I'm giving you several reasons why offense can hurt you, but truthfully, I only need to give you one. Psalms 66:18. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. So basically, it says if you have offense against anyone else, God will not hear your prayers. So therein lies the rub of everything we talked about. Right, not only are we giving power to someone else when we let them offend us, right? When we choose to be offended by what somebody does, but we're also taking glory away from God and not turning that over to God and saying, God, I'm not going to be offended. I'm going to let you handle the situation. I'm going to let you handle that person. I'm going to let you take care of whatever that they've got going on. I pray that they find peace and kindness and forgiveness in their hearts. Hopefully you got some value from this. If you did, please share a comment, tag a friend, have them come by. And remember, if you choose to be offended, you're giving power to someone else that may not deserve that power, and you're taking glory away from God. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing to do about it. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact in being an equity creator. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.